So this is how I used to look 5 years ago. I was super insecure, like super skinny, had absolutely no muscle, and overall when it came to like getting respect from other guys, there was fucking none. It was zero. Girls like out of the fucking equation. I think throughout high school I had like 4 or 5 crushes, every single one of them friends with me. And then fast forward 5 years later, I now look like this, and it's all because I basically decided and I made a conscious effort on basically just deciding to glow up. So this video is just going to be for us black guys on how to glow up. So the very first thing we're going to be talking about is going to be the physique, right? So your body as a black guy. What is like the best body to build as a black man? How do you build the body? Like, you know, what exercises do you do? If you're watching this and you're a complete beginner, I'm going to literally cover everything for you guys in this video on what I did to glow up, the muscles. There's so much shit that like most people don't speak about, but I'll basically give you guys like free game and I'll put you on. So when it comes to building a physique, we're going to want to focus on a few things when it comes to physique. But the first thing we need to understand in how to build an attractive physique for black guys is understanding what's called the male versus the female gaze. Male versus the female gaze. So super simple. The male gaze is basically what we as guys think women want when it comes to appearance, body, style, even the fucking car we drive, versus what women actually want, okay? The reason why I'm talking about women and the reason why I'm talking about girls is because I'm going to be dead honest, like so many guys, when it comes to glowing up and building a physique, they say and they kind of quote to themselves and say, oh, I'm just doing it for myself. I'm just doing it for myself, you know, to be the best version of me. I'm going to be honest, man, like, yeah, maybe that's 20% of it, but let's not cope here. Deep down, you're doing it for girls as well, okay? I'm not ashamed to say that when I work out, the physique that I've built is 90% for girls. I know that's going to sound shallow. I know some people might think that that's stupid, but that's just me. That's just what has fucking motivated me, okay? So first, get clear on your intention. Like, we're kind of doing this to get girls. Let's not bullshit ourselves. And then the second thing is we want to build a female-gazed physique, right? So what is a female-gazed physique? Essentially, a female-gazed physique is a super lean physique. Lean doesn't mean skinny. Lean just means lean in terms of body fat, right? So having a very, very little amount of body fat where, you know, you have abs visible. You can maybe even see like visible like muscle striations. That is what is going to be very, very attractive to women. That is the ultimate physique, essentially. And then additionally, we're going to want to focus on something called the V-taper, right? So you guys might have heard of it before. The V-taper is basically where your shoulders, like this, are much broader and much wider than your waist, right? So narrow waist, broad shoulders, and then also focusing on shape as well. So, you know, having rounder shoulders like this. That is very, very attractive to girls. But I'm going to keep this super simple for you boys. So step one, get lean, okay? Get lean. You guys have to fucking get lean. You hear all this stuff about bulking, cutting, like all this stuff. Stop that. Like, stop all that shit. Step one, get lean. What does that mean? It means you're going to want to be in a calorie deficit, right? We're not eating like a shit ton of food. We're basically, you know, figuring out what we need, and we're eating like 200 to 300 calories less. If you guys want to know all of that shit, I made a video. You can check it out. I'm not going to go into this too deeply because I don't want this to be a gym bro video, because this video is also going to focus on other things, you know, facial aesthetics, hair, you know, accessories, grooming, like confidence, girls. This is going to be a long video. But when it comes to like the gym bro stuff, check out this video. It's going to tell you everything you need to know about, you know, how much food you should be eating, you know, how to know, you know, track your macros, your calories, all that stuff, right? But just a super quick rundown in this video. Shoulders, specifically the rear delts, that's what you guys are going to want to focus on. Upper chest, like I said, getting lean, that's going to help you guys out overall. You're going to want to focus on your biceps. You're going to want to focus on triceps. And then you guys are also going to want to focus on your lats, right? So your lats. And when you train all those muscles combined, what basically happens is you get that V-taper. That V-taper is very, very attractive, right? So the second thing we're going to be focusing on in this video is going to be skin and skincare. So I naturally have quite bad skin genetics. I used to get crazy breakouts, crazy acne when I was younger, but now I've kind of like basically gotten on top of a lot of things, and I've figured out what's really worked despite having pretty bad skin genetics, and I haven't had like a breakout for like almost a fucking year. When it comes to skin, there's so many skincare routines online. There's so many people saying, oh, you know, use this product, use this product. So here's the thing. Here's what I found when it comes to skin. There's so much fucking advice out there. It is insane. There's at least 1,000 different like products. There's 1,000 different people saying, use this, you know, this is the best routine. A 10-step, you know, skin routine. Actually, you know, don't use any skin routine. Just wash with water. You know, actually, you know, just do this, just this. There's so much shit out there. It's insane. The only thing I can really do is just share like what has worked for me. You guys can disagree with it. You guys can agree with it, but I'm just going to share what's worked for me. I found the number one thing to help with your skin is no skincare routine at all, but focusing on your diet, right? So I do actually have a skincare routine, but I primarily just focus on diet. I know that might sound crazy. I know that some of you guys might be thinking like, oh, it's bullshit. And guaranteed you've had this like experience before. If you've eaten KFC, you've eaten some fucking donuts, some pizza, anything like that, you'll actually notice that your skin is just oily. Like you'll go to the bathroom and it's just like, what the fuck? It's like shiny as hell. Or even your face, it's like swollen, it's bloated, it's kind of like puffy. That is one of the reasons why that happens, is because you have excess sebum production. That oil is clogging your pores and clogging your skin, and that's one of the reasons why you guys get breakouts. There's other reasons as well. That's one of the reasons, right? So when it comes to food and diet, very, very simple, right? We're going to want to be eating like the most bland and boring foods. I know that sounds like a fucking torture to some of you guys, but trust me, we want to glow up, right? At the end of the day, like, we're going to make some sacrifices, and if you guys are dead serious about this, you guys have to be cutting out the junk food, the sugar, all that crazy shit, right? So no sugar, no junk food. Focus on raw, lean foods, right? So I'm talking about, you're going to want to be focusing on lean chicken, like chicken breast, beef. I kind of stay away from pork, but, fish, like salmon, you're going to want to be going for tuna. You're going to want to be going for, like, whole foods, right? If you guys have carbs, I don't recommend having a shit ton of carbohydrates in your diet. But if you guys do go for carbs, go for a whole potato, a sweet potato, as opposed to like some fucking like white bread you buy at the supermarket, right? Carrots, like vegetables. Eat healthy, raw, clean foods. And you guys, I fucking promise you, if you guys take nothing away from this video, try this for 30 days, 60 days. Guaranteed you guys will see a benefit in your skin. Your skin will glow from the inside. It's like another thing as well. I swear to God, your skin glows differently. But when it does come to skincare, there's a few things that we as black people need to basically, worry about, or basically, avoid, right? So as black guys, the sun. The sun is something that not a lot of people speak about when it comes to skin and skincare. So many people say avoid the sun, avoid the sun. The sun is going to be your best fucking friend, okay? Increases testosterone, helps your skin glow from the inside. Overall, as black people, we need a lot of sun. There's a lot of vitamins that we basically synthesize from the sun. But when it comes to your skin, there's a few things that we're going to want to basically be cautious about, right? So when it comes to acne, and when it comes to acne scarring, hyperpigmentation, I'd go as far as to say maybe like a third of the people watching this video have hyperpigmentation on their skin if you're black, right? And it's basically just like these dark black spots that you have if you've had acne before. Those spots will stay for fucking forever if you don't do anything, by the way, right? So if you have a lot of these black spots, if you don't do anything about it, and you guys are just oblivious and you don't know what I'm gonna basically like say next, those spots, they're gonna stay and they're actually gonna get worse. So you're gonna get like these black spots and they're just gonna get worse, right? So when it comes to getting rid of those dark black acne scars as a black guy, just wear sunscreen. Wear sunscreen. It's going to help you guys out so fucking much. I didn't understand this at first. I thought sunscreen was just these things like these old people were saying like, oh, wear the sunscreen. It's going to, so you can avoid, getting sunburns and like skin cancer and all this shit. And then I used to think like, I heard one time like, oh, we as black guys, you guys have probably heard this as well. Like if you guys have ever been around like white people, for example, you guys would think like, oh, well, I don't need to wear sunscreen because I'm black. And, we as black people, we don't get sunburnt. We don't have all the other issues that, people with lighter skin have. It's not about that. I didn't even realize that. Like when it comes to wearing sunscreen, that's like 20% of the reason why we as black people need to wear sunscreen. One of the biggest reasons why is because the UV radiation from the sun will actually make a lot of these dark acne spots way fucking darker, right? So if you wear sunscreen every single day, the weather could even be like kind of cloudy, kind of slightly dark, still wear sunscreen because UV rays still penetrate through clouds. And basically what's going to happen is if you wear sunscreen, it's actually going to like basically form a protective barrier against the UV rays that will basically darken those spots on your skin, right? That is one of the reasons, and that's one of the ways you guys are actually going to be able to get rid of all those like dark acne scars if you guys have. I know it fucking sucks if you guys have them. It looks horrible, especially if you get them in some weird places. It can just be fucking annoying. It looks weird. It can ruin your confidence. They will go away if you guys do the right things, right? So if you guys have those dark acne spots, use sunscreen. All right, so the next thing we're going to be focusing on is going to be face and facial aesthetics, right? So how your face actually looks. There's a lot of things you guys can do when it comes to your face that you guys might not even realize yet. You can actually basically change the structure of your face. There's limits, obviously, but you guys can see in pictures here and here of me my face looks completely different. One of the main things that I did to basically make my face look slightly more angular, more chiseled, was actually through tongue posture, right? You guys might have heard it. It's become a fucking meme now. It's called mewing. I actually made a video on like basically how to get more, like how to get sharper facial features for black guys. Super simple, correct tongue posture. You're going to want to basically take the tongue in your mouth and basically have it like press all the way up on the roof, like the palate of your mouth. And what that's basically going to do is it's actually going to, over time, it's going to basically widen your palate, right? Because your palate actually has something in between called sutures. Sutures are not bone, right? Bone is fucking, it's stuck in place, you cannot move it. But you have something in the middle called a suture. And a suture is actually able to be moved. It's kind of malleable. It's like this elastic fibrous material. And over time, depending on how much pressure you actually put on the roof of your mouth, and you don't even need to have a lot, you will actually see your jaw slightly widen, right? So that's one of the things you guys can do, is called mewing. That shit works. I've done it myself. You guys can see like pictures side by side. My jaw has widened like a significant amount. And another thing you guys can do within the next literally like 7 days to make your face look a lot better as a black guy is de-bloating, right? So de-bloat your face. What does that basically mean? It basically means that in your face right now, if you have not de-bloated before, if you don't even know what it is, there's a very, very good chance that you actually bloated. You're way, way more puffy in the face than you actually should be naturally, right? It basically means that you're eating like a lot of carbs, a lot of sugar and shit, and that's holding onto a lot of water in your face. So to de-bloat your face, basically stay away from sugar, stay away from salt. Salt is one of the biggest things you guys are going to want to stay away from, because what salt will actually do is salt actually holds on to water. And what will basically happen is if you eat more salt, you eat more sugar, you eat more carbohydrates, what's basically going to happen is your whole face and your body as well, but it's very noticeable in your face, it's going to almost swell up and you're going to look very bloated. Sugar, obviously, come on, like if you're watching this video, you're above the age of 18, like why the fuck are we eating sugar, right? Save it for like a fun treat, but we shouldn't be eating sugar, drinking fucking Red Bull, cola like every day. We're not like 5 years old anymore. I know for some of you guys, oh, you know, I need it, like, you know, it's just like a treat, like I reward myself, bro. Trust me, like there's better things in life than like drinking fucking Coke like every day, okay? Cut that shit out. All right, so let's focus on some stuff that's a little bit more fun. So let's focus on hair, right? Hairstyle. My hair before, you guys can see pictures, it was so fucking horrible, right? For lack of a better term, it was pretty chopped. No clue what I was doing. I don't know what the thought process was like when I had that hair, but it was just fucking crazy. It looked like shit and it was dry and brittle. Now you guys can see my hair, like it's way better. It might be hard to see on camera, but I can like put some photos up. It's way better, way, way curlier. And so as a black guy, what hairstyle do you go with? So here's what I recommend. I recommend going with a hairstyle that suits your face, like suits your face shape, right? A lot of guys might see a certain like hairstyle and they'll be like, fuck, like, you know, that's so sick. I want dreads, or I want, you know, a low cut, like a buzz cut, or like, you know, I want like a taper fade. And they try it and it just looks mid. It's like, you know, it doesn't look like good. Like the hairstyle looks good, but on you, it doesn't look very good. One of the reasons why is because you're just not basically getting a haircut for your face shape, right? So super simple, like rule of thumb, if you guys have a more like circular, like a rounder face, maybe you've got a little bit higher body fat, maybe you just naturally don't have like the insane like bone structure, go with basically a cut that has more hair, right? So you're going to want to have a little bit more hair on the top and then shave it on the sides. What that's going to do is it's basically going to make your face look more angular. But if you guys have like a longer, more narrow face, what might actually suit you is like a slightly lower cut, right? A slightly lower cut is going to make that your face look not as long. If you guys have like a more hair on the top and you shave it on the sides and you guys have a long face, that shit's going to be looking like Megamind, right? We don't want to be looking like a crazy big forehead or anything like that. And another thing is going to be your actual hairline itself, right? This thing right here, the hairline. A lot of guys do not have a very good hairline, like black guys. I'm going to be completely honest, or just people in general. But there's things you can do to make it look like you have a really fucking good hairline, all right? So when it comes to your hairline, you're going to want to be going to the barber, but you're going to always want to ask the barber to basically bring down like the hairline, right? To basically get the hairline, like the front taper, all the way down and as far as humanly possible. That way, we can actually basically make the forehead look a lot like smaller, having a big forehead is not a good look. So we're going to want to always ask the barber to basically take the hair in the front. Always ask for what's basically called the front taper if you can. It basically just means that you have like the hair tapered off, but the hair is always brought down, right? So there's things you can do when you ask your barber. He'll basically take the hairline all the way down. It will make your forehead look smaller. It won't actually elongate the forehead, and then as a result, it's going to make your face shape look better. You're not going to be walking around like Megamind. That's going to help you out a lot. So no matter what haircut you guys get, as black guys, we have like that superpower to basically like get that like front taper. Because of our hair texture, it's way more like malleable. We can just take the front taper all the way down. We can get that like nice crisp hairline, and then have it like all the way down. It's going to help you guys out a ton, right? So no matter what haircut you guys do, you guys can always do that. I think the only exception is probably like a super low haircut. But then again, like it's pretty risky to go with a low haircut. I don't really recommend it for a lot of guys unless you have like the hair genetics for it. Like, or you have a really good solid like dark full head of hair. And you guys also have like a pretty low forehead as well. But if you guys don't, there's a ton of things you guys can do. And then another thing I would also recommend you guys do is when you go to the barber, ask for enhancements, right? You guys can ask for hair enhancements. It basically is just like a black hairspray. They'll spray like right across here, right on the sides, and maybe even in the back. And what that'll also do is it will make that hairline look super crisp. It only lasts for like 2-3 days, but if you guys are going on a date with a girl, or you guys are going out to a party or event, that shit just like 10x's your confidence, because you're like, yeah, fuck, look at my hairline. It's super crisp, it's super neat. I'd stay away from chalk though. You guys might have seen like a bunch of guys, especially on like IG, TikTok, they get like the chalk hairline. It basically looks like white around there. Do what you guys like. I think it's super cringe. I think it looks like not the best, but like be my guest if you want to do it. But in my personal opinion, the best haircut like black guys can do is what I have right now. It's just like a taper fade with a bit of hair on the top. You guys can see, like, in my opinion, I think it is probably the best. It's super easy to sort of maintain. It's not the craziest style, right? We're not going for like dreads. We're not going for anything that has like a bit of like a more rugged look. Generally, it appeals like the most. It's the most like professional. I fucking hate that like word, like, oh, cut your hair, because it like doesn't look professional. Wear what you feel comfortable with, obviously. But in my opinion, like the taper fade with a bit of like hair on the top looks cool. And then also you guys can see as well, I have like a bit of a pattern here in the back. I think that looks pretty cool. You guys can get your barber to do that as well. When it comes to the barbers though, cut your hair at least 2 times a month. At least 2 times a month. If you guys don't have money, at least 1 time a month. It is such a good investment. When you walk out of the barber, if anyone's watching this video and you guys get haircuts recently, especially as a black guy, when you walk out the barber, I swear to fucking God, you look like you could take anyone's bitch. Like, you feel like you could take anyone's bitch. Like, I'll be looking people in the eyes, I'm like, bro, like, look at me now with a hair. Like, when you get a haircut, bro, the confidence is unmatched. That high lasts for like 2-3 days. So worth it. You feel so energetic. You get more shit done, I swear to God. And you just feel good, right? You're taking out your selfie camera, you're looking at yourself, you're like, God damn, like, who's this guy, you know? So get your hair done at least 2 times a month. Like I said, if you guys can't afford it, at least once a month. But in my opinion, it is the best investment you guys could probably make in yourself. Get a haircut at least 2 times a month, right? All right, so the next thing is going to be fashion. What's Leon's fashion recommendation for black guys? So black men can pull off styles just way differently. Certain styles way better than white men, and obviously vice versa. There's certain styles that white guys can pull off, and we black guys, it kind of just looks a little bit awkward. But I personally have a few tips and a few takes when it comes to fashion. So here's the thing. Wear what makes you feel comfortable. That's all I'm going to say. Wear what makes you feel comfortable, right? For me, wearing fitted stuff, like stuff that like really like hugs my body, like my shoulders, all that stuff, and like kind of cuts off, that's what makes me feel comfortable. With trousers and stuff, I've had the biggest fucking problem in the world because my waist is like pretty small, like relative to like my size. So wearing like baggy jeans and all that shit, like it just feels weird. It's awkward. It's weird that it's falling down all the time. I might need to wear a belt, but then I have to get the belt like, you know, all the way to like the tightest notch. It feels weird. So I just wear sweatpants. So like 90% of the time, you guys will like, if you go out, you'll see me in some form of Nike like sweatpant and like a fitted shirt. That's like my go-to, and a chain, earrings, and I've done up my hair. And then shoes, like I usually wear like Jordan 4s or Air Force 1s, super clean, super simple, and that's it, right? That outfit makes me feel so fucking comfortable, super confident, super comfortable. And as a result, I'm able to just feel way more confident in my skin, right? So for example, if I wear like what I usually wear, and some people might say, oh, it's basic, it looks like you don't give a fuck, you're wearing sweatpants, top, like chain, and there's like, oh, you gave no thought to it. If there was a girl that was walking, boom, if what I usually wear, eye contact is easy as fuck. Confidence is easy as fuck. Cold approaching, no like fucking problem. If I wear like these like fashion motherfuckers wear on like TikTok, like the baggy trousers, maybe like the Tims, or like the 3/4 like shorts, like the denim shorts, all this oversized stuff, I feel so awkward in it, right? I've tried it. I've tried that style. I feel so weird, so awkward in it. All of a sudden, I go from having a 10 out of 10 confidence to like a 5 out of 10 confidence. Mainly because like my physique, I've put in a lot of work and effort into it, and I have like a baggy top because I'm very, very lean. It looks like I've never fucking lifted in my life. So I don't like that as well. But generally, like what you wear has such a big effect on your confidence and just, you know, what you're able to do and what you're able to achieve in your life. So number one rule, I'm not going to go on. So I'm not going to basically like babble on really like too much about this. Wear what makes you feel comfortable. With that being said, there's like levels to this, okay? So if you're comfortable in pajamas, like let's use our heads. Like no woman is gonna find you fucking like really hot or fantasize about a guy like wearing pajamas, okay? So like let's be reasonable about this stuff. Wear a style that is proven to be attractive, it looks good on you, that you feel comfortable in, okay? So we're not wearing like gamer shirts that said like, you know, I pause my game to be here because that's what you fucking wear every Sunday and that's what you feel comfortable in. Okay, come on, like, let's be reasonable about this stuff, okay? But wear what you feel comfortable in, and that is basically like my fashion advice. I might make some more videos on like my fashion, my journey, like all that stuff. But generally, wear what makes you feel comfortable. There's a ton of other videos online on like how to dress. Find something, pick something that works for you. For the boys that are already in pretty good shape and pretty lean, wear fitted stuff. Like stuff that like hugs your arms, that's a little bit more tight, a little bit more fitted. Some people say that style is cringe. Some people say it's from like 2012. At the end of the day, that's what I like because I've put in a lot of effort into my body. And if you're watching this as well, you've probably put a lot of effort into your body. And then just to wear like some big fucking like oversized like hoodie or t-shirt or something over that, in my opinion, it's kind of a waste. The last thing we're going to be focusing on is going to be aura, confidence, and charisma. I know that shit sounds so vague, so wishy-washy, like, oh, what even is that? You know, aura, confidence, charisma. Like, it's almost become a meme right now. But basically, when it comes to your aura, your confidence, your charisma, it is so, so important. You guys can have the looks, you guys can have everything I've spoken about, you guys can have the body, you guys can have the six-pack, you guys can have the fashion, you guys can have the style, you guys can have all that shit. But at the end of the day, like, if as a black man, you do not have the confidence, the charisma, you can't look anyone in the eyes, it's all to waste. Like, it doesn't even fucking matter. So when I was younger, I had absolutely fucking no confidence. I mean, zero confidence. I can say that right now, and some of you guys might, like, not believe it. But I actually found a video of me, like, when I was about 16, 17. I'll put it up right now. I had, like, a business thing I was trying to run. I was trying to get, like, clients and shit. So we'd love to do something similar with you guys. As I said, super casual chat. Nothing too serious. But if this is something that you guys are interested in, yeah, maybe we can talk about it some other time. Thanks for listening to what I have to say. But you guys can see my mannerisms, how awkward I was, even the fucking way I looked. But I'm going to put this video up so you guys can just see like what I was like, right? Relative to what I am now. So whenever you look at a guy who's like super confident, super charismatic, 99% of the time he wasn't like that. He had to basically build himself up. The easiest way to build yourself up to be more confident is to just push the barrier of like your comfort zone every single time, right? This is what I've basically found when it comes to confidence, is push the confidence barrier in terms of like, you know, the shit that you're scared of doing just a little bit. Like every day, maybe every week, you do something that you think is a little bit uncomfortable that you wouldn't usually do when it comes to like a social situation, when it comes to asking someone a question, when it comes to just generally like your overall confidence and what you like feel comfortable in doing. Push that shit a little bit like further, right? The way to do that is what I call the compliment and question method. The compliment and question method, right? Start small. As guys, if you're like super like introverted, super insecure, don't start with girls right away. Just start with guys around your age, maybe even fucking older guys, right? Like when I mean old guys, I mean like almost like old men, because old people are fucking easy to talk to. They don't judge you. They're always nice, right? Compliment, question, right? Compliment, question. Basically, you compliment someone on anything. It could be the color of their shirt. It could be their hair. It could be their shoes. It could be their outfit. Compliment someone. When you compliment someone, they instantly they take like a small liking to you, right? And you're also basically posing yourself as like not a threat, meaning that the conversation or that interaction is not gonna basically have that person on guard, and it's not gonna be very tense, right? Whenever you compliment someone, or even if you've been complimented yourself, you instantly take a liking to that person, right? You're instantly like, hey, like I kind of like this guy. He said like, oh, like, hey, bro, like I like your shoes, or I like, that fucking hoodie you're wearing today, or that T-shirt. Like I think it's cool. Instantly, it puts a smile on your face and like, oh shit, like thanks, bro, and you kind of want to be that guy's friend. Compliment someone. The second you do that, boom, you lower someone's guard. Very easy to basically continue a conversation with them, and then you do what's called the compliment question method. So compliment is the first thing. Question is the second, right? It's the thing when it comes to getting confident and like being more social. You do not have to have a reason for everything. This is what I used to think before. I used to think that if I had to speak to someone like a stranger, I needed to know them from before. I needed to like have a reason to speak to them. But at the end of the day, I was thinking like, I need to know them from before. Like, well, how the fuck would I get to know anyone if I don't like speak to strangers, right? You have to speak to strangers to basically, to be more comfortable in social situations, to basically be more confident, to make new friends. When you do shit like this, when you like go out and you basically like put yourself out there and you ask these questions, you do the compliment question method, you basically start to destroy a lot of these like limiting beliefs, and specifically fake scenarios that never ever happen in your head, right? When you do that, you become so much more confident because you realize I'm not gonna fucking die. No one's gonna laugh at me. No one even cares. Everyone forgets after 5 seconds, and you start to realize like, bro, like I can do and say fucking anything I want, like with limits, obviously. But there comes a point where you realize like, bro, I'm basically invincible because no one actually cares about like what I say, right? So be super confident. I know it's been a fucking meme recently. Oh, just be confident, bro. But you can have the looks, you can have everything down. There's so many guys that have that shit, but they're just weird and awkward like when it comes to talking to people. So with that being said, there's a ton of other videos on this channel. It's just going to be on black men's self-improvement, and it will help you guys out a ton because it's basically helped me go from, this all the way to like basically what I am now. Obviously, I still have a long way to go, but I'm basically sharing my journey and just sharing what's worked with me. Because if I can at least help like one guy in this video, I'll be so fucking happy, because I went through a lot of shit and a lot of pain to basically, upgrade myself to glow up as a black guy. So with that being said, I'll see you guys in the next video.